Okay, so Grand Rising. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is that this is going to reach you. My name is Misty Dawn. I'm with Love Awakening Authenticity. I'm a spiritual self-empowerment coach. I'm a conscious awareness coach. And more importantly, I'm a fucking truth coach. And what I do here is collective Christ conscious messages for individual, you yourself individually, to integrate through the feeling and senses that resonate beyond your mental understanding your masculine and feminine energies. Your center, your saint, your light side, your dark side, your positive emotions, your supposed negative emotions, your animal body, your physical manifestations, and your spiritual mystery self, so you can evolve for your clearest and highest good. So help you God. Okay? Yeah. If you feel energy that makes you feel physical arousal, if you feel energy that makes you feel excitement, makes you feel wonder and joy and fucking maybe even anger that you haven't felt in a while, that is your feeling and your feeling alone. I am not sitting there sharing that with you. What I'm sharing with you is an energy that we share from the heart, from the center. But how these needs are met are different. And you are not to attach your power to me as your teacher, whether for better or for worse, whether it's to whatever, for better or for worse, doesn't matter. You're not to attach whatever issue you take up with the energy that you receive, for better or for worse, with me. You are to do it with yourself. I am giving you back your power. For some of you, you may be inspired by it. Others of you may be intimidated. When you're inspired, that can come off because source energy, confidence, internal confidence, and authentic light can be sexually arousing, right? That's not what that is. That's source energy you're feeling, and you need to honor that feeling. You need to let that rise through you, and you need to use that for manifestation of your true desires, where you have been devaluing yourself. You are sensing something that you have lost, and you need to own that in yourself, okay? I need to make this very clear to you, very clear to you, very clear to you, okay? All right. Now, for whatever reason, denial is the greatest teacher. I know it was my greatest teacher. I learned how to listen through the act of not fucking listening. Okay, definitely. All right. Denial is the greatest teacher in fear-based frequency. Yeah. Somebody says denial of what? The now experience, the present moment, the truth of yourself. How? Self-worth, conditioning, emotional value. Self-worth, lack of self-worth through conditioned emotional value. Demonizing your own divinity, your own nature. Acting in chaos through the denial and the rejection of half of our emotional experiences. The denial and the judgment of our own needs, rather than the observation and the acceptance without pity parties and victim mentalities. Whoever, whatever. It's pretty big, bold letters here. So denial is our greatest teacher. And denial is individual for everyone. I kind of want to take a moment to speak from experience, from a place of love, because that's what I do. Is I use my life as experience to teach from, to learn from, to grow and educate from a place of love, so we can address where we have been acting against ourselves and against others. Because if we don't know, how can we address it? But if we have an opportunity to know, even though it hurts our fucking feelings, Don't you want to know? Like, even if you don't know all the details, don't you want to know? Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm going to take this time to share my experience because of denial. And there's a lot, but I'm just going to kind of try and sum it up. Victims live in fear. Purity and innocence, they live in trust, they live in the risk, they live in the moment. They live in hope, and they live in, pure intentions. No personal gain or personal advantages, just seeking emotional support and growth and gratification and mental strength, right? Which comes from emotional support. Like, I denied myself that at the expense of others for a very long time. For whatever reason, I just didn't feel like I was worthy of the compassion that I wanted to give others. And all in that time, I was manipulating energy because I wasn't appreciating the moment, the now of my own experience, nor what they were actualizing. I was appreciating what they could be, what they should be, what I really like them to be. I was not a victim. I was brave. I was courageous. I was strong. But I was victimized. And you can't deny that. To deny that is to deny your truth. It's to deny what you just experienced. And it's also to deny yourself protection to not experience it again. Sometimes the truth really, really hurts. Don't you want to know? Don't you want to know? Don't you want to experience what can save your life even if it hurts you? Mentally, just to free you. I know I did. And I want you to know, even when you're free, you're still hunted. So you have to continually build up that confidence in yourself to say no and stand firm. And no matter how many people don't see how you are a physical representation of divinity itself or an example of your own divinity, you still shine. You shine because you're ugly to them. You're not a victim because you've been victimized. The victim is the one victimizing you. You're a warrior. The fear is the one victimizing you. Now, I released a lot of stuff this morning and yesterday, and it needs to be released, and it needs to be honored for what the fuck it is. Denial is our greatest teacher to our own divinity. It's where we realize we've literally lost all of our power, and it's where it comes back in higher forms. The needs are met through observation and acceptance, not pity parties or assumptions or judgments. I don't manifest from a place of lack. I manifest from a place of hope. And then people come in and think you're because they look down on you from their own perception. They're like, be careful. because the people you love the most are the ones that plant the biggest seeds of doubt. And it's not to fear them, it's to be aware of your own self. This is why self-accountability is imperative. Like, we are in the end times, where in all scriptures, no matter what religion it is, it tells you in the end times, good will be seen as evil and evil will be idolized. Why? Because we're sacrificing our now in denial. It's through self-worth, conditioned emotional self-worth. You can only value these emotions because they serve the agenda, because they serve the intention, they serve the purpose. Needs don't come from agenda. They don't come from personal advantages. They don't come from personalized things. Dignity holds no space for vanity. And mental attention is not mental affections. The Master of Death. I'm going to read that. The Master of Death. This is the old programs. My whole life that I just talked about. The whole programs that I try to help people overcome, and they're offended by it. Well, they're offended by my presence, and I don't give a fuck. And I get offended by other people's presence, and I also don't give a fuck. I'd rather suffer than people offer me support with personal gain behind it. I've had this happen so many times where they offer you something and then tell you their intentions afterwards. You're supposed to set your intentions before you make offers. So you know what you're willing to put in, and you know when the other person knows what they're putting in. It's equality. It's balanced. It's open-hearted communication, not withholding of knowledge for personal gain. And most people do this unknowingly. All the time. I'd rather suffer or struggle than have support loaded with less than pure intentions, knowingly or not, human nature. I'm not to judge others. I'm just to observe and act accordingly. I teach while I learn through these lessons, whether I like them or not, and I implement what I'm learning as I go along. The Master of Death. It's the cycles of your emotions, of your energy. We're all chaos. Are you organizing your own chaos, or are you allowing something else to organize your chaos for you? I trust my own chaos. And when you have somebody that trusts their own chaos with somebody that trusts their own chaos, you know what that creates? A fucking bond. A mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual bond. A third cup of trust and growth and expansion. The base frequency of trust does not come from denial, does not come from fear, does not come from intellectual skepticism through inferiority or superiority complexes. Teamwork, individual through differences, our different role, our different gifts, does not come from comparisons. It comes from relatability, and relatability will not be found in comparisons. Comparing good to bad rejects half the information that you are receiving. You need to be honoring good and bad so you can act according to what feels good to you and your fucking value individually. And nobody else sets your individual needs for you. You do that for yourself, and you fill these needs. And because you're constantly filling your own needs, when something else comes in, you feel when it's supporting you and when it's robbing you of your power. You also realize the spelling in between the words. Experience. What happens when you break a psychological program? What happens when you break brainwashing? What happens when you decondition yourself? Can anybody else answer that? Want to answer that? I want to answer that motherfucking question. You feel fucking liberated. You grow. You evolve. You expand. You inspire yourself while inspiring others. And you intimidate some while inspiring others. And well, you don't have control over those you can intimidate. You're not trying to convince them. You're literally just being your motherfucking self. Glowing. Glowing. Are there going to be storms that come in and fuck with you? Yes. And do you know what happens? You get stronger each motherfucking season, all the way to the fucking pinnacle, baby. All the way to the fucking pinnacle, because warriors do not fear death. Not at all. And every fear out there stems from that. Get them, boo. Get them. Like it when you go up. Masculine energy. High frequency. Base thought. Base. The base in which this is the observer of self. It is not the participator in its thoughts. It's not the victim of its thoughts that victimizes things, right? Whether you are man or woman, I don't give a fuck. You did it. The host does not matter. The energy is present, okay, or not, okay? It does not matter what your fucking host vessel is, whether you have a fucking sausage or you have a fucking biscuit. It doesn't fucking matter! Energy does not discriminate. It haunts you equally when you deny the truth. Oh, cosmic law, psychological warfare, imprisonment, entombment. Interesting. Whew. Get them. Then you trust yourself through all of these stages. That's the divine masculine. That's the divine masculine. It supports emotions. It may not understand this appearance. It may not understand a tornado. It may not understand a hurricane. But boy, can it learn from it. Boy, can it build afterwards. You fucking ain't right. Ha 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 ha. I laugh in the face of danger. Fear arrives at my door. Two things are gonna happen. First, I'm gonna feel the fear, because obviously that's a natural human experience, and I'm gonna accept that that's what the fuck that is. So I'm not gonna deny that's what the fuck that is, and I'm gonna be like, nah, bitch. Sacred rage to clear the robbers from the den immediately. Like, no, 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 no. So anger is supposed to lower my vibration. Anger is part of my vibration. It's the frequency that lowers shit. So do I trust my anger and trust myself so I can act accordingly to my divinity? Or do I doubt myself and say I'm lowering my vibration by being my motherfucking authentic self and protecting this need? Oh, come at me, motherfucker. I dare you. I fucking dare you. Shit, my kids hunt fucking things scarier than you are. Hashtag real talk. I can get them all down here. They will be like, bitch, we hunt fucking demons up in this motherfucker. We hunt energetic parasites and other worldly things of low vibration. We also communicate with things that you can't fucking see. Hell, this morning, I had something come up in my fucking house on my son, because his dad is an alcoholic, and that's a ghoul. That's opening all kinds of fucking portals, okay? And he comes over here, and he's got these fucking energies attached to my sachem, and he literally loses all of his fucking energy. And right after that, it's like he fucking snaps. He loses his shit, like, he immediately loses his shit. And then I sit there and I observe it, and we observe it, and we talk about it. And he's like, you're fucking right, Mom. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to sage again. But this time, son, I'm Or you have to consciously surrender this, because you have to know what you're surrendering and why you're surrendering it. And even though it hurts, you're willing to accept it, right? And he looked me, I said, you're gonna have to look me dead in my eye and tell me this. And he looked me dead in my eye and he said, I'm ready. And we saged again. Oh boy, did it feel it. I tried to call his dad to let his dad know, hey, you have something up in your house. I'd like to come get it out of there. I don't like fear hunting my children, and I don't allow fear to hunt my children, seen or unseen. I am not fucking allowing it, right? His dad will not answer the phone. I never call this man. It's 9:30 at night. He knows I sleep, fucking go to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. I never call this man. Never call him. Never. Doesn't answer his phone. Doesn't answer his phone. I get a text message. Please text me. So I text him. No fucking response whatsoever. He calls his son. His Draken's standing in the room with me, and he turns him on speakerphone, and he says, well, he didn't answer, and he called him back, and he put him on speakerphone, and he said, what'd you want? Oh no, I nothing. You could hear fear in his voice. It was like, it was not the same. Even he could tell it wasn't his dad. Like, he could tell it wasn't his dad. Okay? Hangs up the phone. We sage him. We sage the house. We sage him. We walk him to the door. He's literally completely energetically fucking drained. I mean, just, he went from having this false energy to having this, it just complete, okay? And he laid down and he went to bed. 6 o'clock this morning, I get up. Now, I messaged his dad after all this, right? After I cleared him, I messaged his dad. I get up at 6 o'clock this morning. I let my dog out. I'm standing at my back door waiting for my dog to do her thing. And my boot for my broken foot that I sometimes don't wear because I'm a fucking warrior and I don't give a shit. That was 2 feet away from the top of my stairs, at least 2 feet away from the top of my stairs, come flying down my fucking stairs. And my picture, my giant fucking 2.5 foot fucking picture of a woman in a guitar flew off my fucking wall. I said, and Hagen and Piper immediately flocked down the stairs from the couch and come down here, and it was like, what? Well, like, we were all like, what the fuck was that? And Hagen immediately felt fear, right? Because that's a natural reaction to something like that. And then I was like, Hagen, do you really want to feed it? Do you really want to feed that thing your energy, like fear? Or do you want to be like the little God within your flesh and take back your power right now? He's like, let's take this mother on, Mom. And I was like, let's. So we get the fucking sage and we walk all over the house, and we claim our space. And we come back down the stairs, and I'm like, Hagen, I feel like we need to do that again. He said, I think so too. There's a residue, right? Like an energy that's left behind from that huge energy, right? And I'm like, let's do it. We walked the whole house, and the whole house like filled with fucking smoke. I'm talking filled with sage. And you could see it drop down and go up in the fucking smoke, right? Like you could see it. And I didn't have my doors open or windows open yet. I fucking smoked these things out and clear their own, like their ability to harvest energy, okay? Getting this fucking house smoky as shit. And then Hagen opens the fucking door. Hagen opens the door and he says, this is the house of God. We live in the heart space here, and fear has no authority. Get out. And you see, instead of air coming in, you see a big fucking whoosh go out the fucking front door. Out. Gone. And then you see it when the second time when we come down the stairs, and we brought it all down the stairs and the whole house is lit up, and we opened the back door, it all did the same fucking thing. Whoosh. Right? Right out the fucking back door. This is having trust in the unseen through the senses. Know thyself, and you'll know thy enemy, my friend, seen and unseen. For there's one thing seen, there's 1,000 unseen. There are so many children out there that are haunted, and people that are haunted that deny their senses and leave these things happening. And there's children and people in psychiatric units that don't fucking belong there. As a shamanic high priestess, I would love to set fire to every fucking one that is harvesting these souls and condemning them to the fucking hell that they live in. fucking over it. Over it. But the ones that actually want to go there, that find that as their fucking place to be and the place of harvesting, not the ones that are fucking submitted there by people who don't fucking understand them, right? There's a difference between someone free will going there for their lesson because they're drawn there naturally like a flower to the fucking sun, and someone being thrown in there. You just wait till I come back in my higher form. This flesh is temporary. Divine masculine. You know, there is no waiting. It's right now. They said right now. Right now. There is no waiting for this. You are here right now. Let your physical action represent the divinity you are right fucking here, right fucking now, in this moment, right now. Inquiry. Dude, there's the inquiry. Denial of what? How? All right, cocky fuck, let's go. Are you ready? Do you really want to have an intellectual argument here? Or are we just fucking having a sword fight? What do you want? I'll fucking shank you if you want. What do you fucking want here? I fucking fight dirty. How do you fucking learn? I will go. Like, how do you learn? How do you learn? A teacher wants to know how you fucking learn, because trust me, as a student, I fucking tried many motherfucking ways to get out of my own fucking problems, okay? And it never fucking worked. So, let's go! Apollo. This is self-worth, baby. Discovery, observation, acceptance. Oh my God. So hot right now. So hot! So hot! Hot! Right hand. Right hand. Right hand. Judgment. Right here, right now. Oh my. How do I fucking bring this on? Bring it on. Ground it. Emotions are really deep for masculine. This is a big fucking power for your senses. If you're not sexually exploiting yourself, physically dampering yourself, and honoring your sacred energy instead of giving it away to just mental and physical pleasures, you're emotionally fucking honoring your fucking energy space, right? Thoth, the one that transcribes Ma'at's heart. The truth. Communication. Dropping the perfections and the control in which you receive your needs. I don't like that. Does it hold the same value right here? Well, if they would have said it differently or done it differently, or blah, 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 blah. Comparisons, assumptions, judgments, criticisms, controls. Not serving you. Caging you. Enslaving you. Psychologically imprisoning you. Communication, baby, of the heart. This is where you get out of denial, right? If you're communicating and opening up to the full information and not just what you like and reject what you fucking don't like and then judge and blame and shame because that you rejected the truth, right? Brain check. No. This is where the self-actualization happens. Big time. Big time. Big energy here. Thoth and Hermes, same energy. I always talk about this. Prometheus energy. Same energy. Different physical faces, like the phases of the moon kind of thing. Same energy. Different skills. Same energy. Different skills. Different faces. Different places. Oh, expansion. Ooh, that feels good. Ooh, right in the gut. Dropping the perfections. Seeing the perfection in the imperfections, the whole information, the truth. Nature. I see what nature you're actualizing, and it doesn't relate. I'm not comparing. I don't give a fuck what you do with your motherfucking self. Do what you want, all right? You ain't doing it here. Why? Well, because I don't relate to this energy. Fuck your face. I don't relate to this. Ow! Raw. That's the ecstasy of self. You feel that confidence? Ooh, yeah. That is sexy. I should not feel afraid of being sexy like this. Oh, I'm not sexualizing myself. I'm feeling my motherfucking passion. I'm experiencing my motherfucking self. Oh, yeah. Next, 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 next moment. I'm in the moment. Oh. Ecstasy. Support of the emotions that brings together inventiveness, dedication, and to the skill, the application of self, overcoming obstacles with spiritual leadership and altruism, traveling in a new direction through the beauty of truth, the seen and unseen, taking action is the offering of protection, action and vulnerability, the truth. Trusting the mystery restores the balance. Trusting the mystery restores the balance. Shut your front door when you're talking to me. I will not shut my front door when I'm talking to you, matter of motherfucking fact. And then matter of motherfucking fact, get off my porch! We don't have relatability. You fucking up my view. Get out of the way. Your fucking door. Get out of my way. I'll blow that fucking door right off the hinges. I ain't fucking with you. Snap! Anubis energy. Oh, oh, it's magic, you know. Never believe it's not so. Magic is all natural. It is not manipulated. Magic is that all natural energy that expands and grows and evolves. Woo, baby. Spelling, on the other hand, is that unnatural energy that you take on as a natural energy. It's manipulation. It's a one charge cell. It's a one charge cell. Get some electrons and stuff. It's a one motherfucking charge cell. Ain't nothing fucking living about it. It's dead. Dead as shit. Nothing going nowhere fast. It doesn't even meet the place of everything. It is just nothing. Fear. The teacher of the highest self. You damn right. Denial is the greatest teacher you ever know when you face it. Woo, self-empowerment 101. Getting out of denial of your own self-worth. Woo, your own emotional worth in all states of self. Through unconditional love instead of conditioned emotional love. What the fuck? Emotions are your heart. If the emotions aren't your mind, you can't serve two masters. Wake up. Like children, okay? This happens all the time too. Motherfuckers, they see your boundaries, right? Why? Because you speak them. You are a living example of them. And they find those boundaries, instead of inspirational, they're intimidated, right? Or inferior. So they test them. That's a challenge. That's something I can conquer, something I can take. It's funny, Misty, I'm just joking when I test your boundaries. These are boundaries that are a representation of how I respect myself. You really think it's a joke and to mock my boundaries, to test my boundaries instead of supporting them? You have a choice when it comes to some of my boundaries that I set for myself and your relatability to my boundaries. You can either support them or you can test them, and I know the motherfucking difference. And I don't discount what the fuck you did. I call you the fuck out. I don't cast shame on me for calling you out. Recognize self-accountability, the mirror, the divine mirror, the hall of mirrors, cosmic law, not relative fucking law, relative to what you fucking like law. Fuck you. I'm about the needs, the dignity, the vulnerability, the purity of the heart, the virginity of the heart, the purity. Alice is jumping down the rabbit hole right motherfucking now. Feminine energy. Apollo, inquiry, please. Inquiry. Following your own fucking advice, your own fucking internal. How the fuck does this feel? Trusting yourself. You know what feels best for you. You cannot go back to that yesterday. Be present right here, right now, and stop assuming, because that's discrediting and devaluing the truth in the moment, the present moment, for shit that hasn't happened yet. And when you're judging things and assuming things based off of their comparability instead of relatability to the past, right? Relatability to yourself instead of something outside of yourself, right? You're discrediting and devaluing the truth in front of you through judgment, through assumptions, through comparisons, instead of relatability to yourself individually. We all have similarities. It's the differences that are the depth that make the value. It's the differences here. And this is what Apollo is inquiring here, out of denial, getting out of denial, following the good advice, following one's own good advice, what feels good. Not what others, justify for me, that justifies what I like but doesn't feel good. Like, this is really stepping into the power of self, not going back to yesterday. And look, there's that that personal power, the individual solar deity. It's also the Horus energy, the enlightened high priest. How do you can be a high priest, and then how do you become enlightened? Well, you open up the compass of the manifestations instead of one charge selling it. Okay, it's like taking so when you're only working off of your mental ideals and your mental principles, right, and you're not operating from this place of the true experience, right, you're not operating from a place of expansion in totality. It's more of a manipulation thing, and this is where you become an observer of that. It's enlightening. The communication here. Waking up. It's enlightening. It's your moment. I just feel like I need to sneeze. I'm trying not to sneeze. The communication. Becoming braver. Resilience, experience, growing stronger from these experiences, a fresh perspective, from trust, the frequency of trust. Wow. Tell me about the wisdom here. The wisdom is no longer offering promises that never come to be. Nothing's going nowhere fast. Empty words. Not living in the now. The wisdom is gained from that. Who in the world am I? Getting to know the true self instead of the empty nothingness. The true self. That's Thoth energy. No longer giving into the sweet treats. I'd rather suffer than be offered things without the intentions being set. Like, it's like, how do I say this? Individuals will either be in their own heart and experience in the known and in the known unknown, in the now, or against it, in comfort, controls, and conditioned, groomed love. False masters, ideals, or thoughts outside their own, aka, I wish you knew your power. Let me take it so your power serves me. I'll give you this, 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 and this, but I'm going to want this, 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 and this, though. You don't know that until after you accept what I'm giving, though. Fuck you and my favorite candy. Who in the world are you? Fuck you and my favorite candy. I know my motherfucking power. Thoth. Trusting in the imperfections as the purity. Nuada. Trusting in the imperfections as the purity. Number 22. Know where you wish to go. What do you want to feel and why? Set the right direction. I want to be a king and a queen. Mastery of self, mastery of my own chaos, and in honor, in love, in unconditional love, instead of conditioned, rejected love. 22 and 33. Stating your sovereignty, declaring freedom, liberation, and passing the test. the right hand judgment. With Bass, the holy longing, the cat, the protection of the vulnerability, the mystery, the magic, through respect. What is respect? Well, nature's way of respecting itself and loving itself is trusting itself through its imperfections, through the chaos. Even when it's not getting what it wants. Well, sometimes I want things that I don't need. And when if I deny that I'm wanting something that I don't need, or denying my needs to get what I want, which is control, then what the fuck am I doing to myself? That's not a king. That's not a queen. That's a fucking victim, right? We're not the victim anymore. We're the fucking king and queen. Sovereignty, individual sovereignty, the power. Tell me about the power, please. Following the white rabbit. Curiosity meets opportunity. Wow. The cycle of abundance. The mystery, the magic, the unseen, the divine time, the divinity, the unknown, the promise of new beginnings, following the new beginning, the present moment, be in the present moment, the time, being in the present moment. Yep, being in the present moment. Purity. Number 3. There's the time. Using your time well, making every single moment count, because why? You're in the true experience. Embracing the mortality. Not afraid of death. Impossible things. Working through complete disbelief. Imaginative leaps into a fresh perspective out of a moment's regret by taking accountability instead of denial. Out of a moment's regret, you get out of denial. Out of denial. Impossible leaps of faith right out of denial. Holy fucking shit right now. I'm going to use the Oracle of Isis for healing, which is more inspiration. It's not healing. You're already healed. Now we're just throwing more dead wood to your fire. Your holy inferno, okay? We're just giving you clarification on things you already know, like support. This is emotional support, aka ongoing healing. Emotional support is the healing in the process of now as you go along. Emotional support, healing. Emotional support, healing. Emotional support, healing. I don't need that. I don't want that. No, you need it, and this is why you come to me. But then when you're around me, you're telling me I don't want that. I don't need that. You can't force that on me. This is literally what I do, what I am. It is my very presence that you're wanting to be around, but you want to control how you're no. You are going to get the same results that you have got your whole fucking life doing the same thing over and over and over again. And guess what? I'm not your last result. I'm not the result before that. I'm not the result before that. I'm not the result before that. I may look like the prey. I may have similar things to your prey. I am not your motherfucking prey, and I'm not your next victim. As a matter of fucking fact, I may be your last. You're welcome. I just gave you back your fucking power. Enjoy it. Unconditional love. You cannot go back to yesterday. You need to be in the present moment. This is the inquiry of the present moment. How do I feel? How does this feel right now? And if it didn't feel good, well, what can I learn from it? Why didn't it feel good? What action can I implement? What can I implement? Okay, because I learned something. So now I'm going to teach it through the actions, teach it through my actions and my words and my behaviors, right? Develop a new behavior that supports my newfound value from lack of value. Interesting. Look at that. Risky business. Trust in self. Pyramid of light and psychic protection. As a being of light, darker energies may at times seek to interfere with your spiritual progress. There is nothing to fear and only more awareness of your own power and protection of divine love to experience. The pyramid of light confirms that energies have been causing interference with your path, and it is now time for that interference to cease completely through loving divine power. The power of Ra, the power of Osiris, the power of Horus, the power of Thoth, the power of Prometheus, altruism, the power of communication of the heart, imperfections, right there. Taking your own good advice, trusting yourself, seen and unseen, with or without evidence, physical evidence. Temple, you are the physical. You and how you fucking feel about this motherfucking shit is the physical evidence, bitches. Hell yes. Temple of Carnelian. It is time to trust your own boldness and courage, taking risks that feel true to your heart and engaging in practices that make you feel truly and genuinely alive and passionate, embodied in more ways of yourself. Even if it's not always comfortable for your mind, for you to understand it, it's going to help you live the life you were born to live and evolve in. Hell fucking yeah. Becoming braver, waking the fuck up with the communication of the heart here. Scales of balance, there it is. Balance of value. This is either relatable or not. Your values are either relatable or not. Your respect of yourself is either relatable or not. You either support my boundaries or test them. You're either an asset or a liability, and I'm not going to discredit how the fuck I feel because I feel bad that you can't meet my expectations that I already meet myself. Fuck you. Boom. Skills of balance. Justice. In the house. Balancing, give and take, directing and flowing, play and solitude are always a great way to heal the relationship between your inner masculine and your own inner feminine energies. Connection with the body is the most powerful form of healing for feminine energy as it holds the secrets to divine feminine energy. So sing, dance, play. Being playful is not mocking or testing other motherfuckers' boundaries. You can be playful by supporting them, not testing them. Miracle of Isis with the wisdom of Thoth here. Isis offers a miracle of healing no matter how much you have struggled with a particular matter, no matter how impossible it may seem. To imagine your life without this old wound, this old program, this old addiction problem, relationship issue, or inner struggle being a part of it, you are guided now to accept the possibility of miraculous healing. Let go and let the goddess be. This is letting go of the empty words of nothingness, the sweet treats, the fucking things you like that don't fucking feel good, and stepping into getting to know who you truly are. Holy shit. The imperfections of yourself and honoring this. I am the king and queen of myself. I honor myself with unconditional love. I do not condition myself to judgments and assumptions. I do not place my present experience, my true experience, my divine experience in the place of a cage for worries of shit that has not happened yet. I am the king and queen, setting the course of action, knowing where you wish to go by being where you are right now. The judgment. Past life, present power. The clearing of the past life. As the soul grows in service to the great feminine, the emotions in the heart, and her intention that all beings be healed and free of psychological damage, it gathers internal resources to assist us on our path. These resources include powers and gifts from other lifetimes, and you are currently integrating past life abilities. Be open to what you are receiving that is taking place as your soul awakens ancient powers and abilities within you. Do not discredit what you cannot see or understand. You trust that motherfucking shit, especially if you can't understand it. You trust what you feel. Impossible things. Using your time well, making this moment count, no longer fearing the death. The Lunar Queen, the different phases. I am no longer fearing or rejected different phases of myself that allow me to evolve in divinity instead of demonized whatever the fuck I was. The Lunar Queen, this is the deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles, of emotional cycles, and of rest and replenishment, as it is essential to the balance of our actions of power and demonstration of our true divinity. You are asked to allow this replenishment for yourself now, trusting that you are in a cycle of creation that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without having to control or force it. Impossible leaps of faith. Holy fucking Shit. Well, we'll get a roomie on this. Let's get a roomie. Denial, the greatest teacher that we accept. What we have rejected, what we have denied to get what we want, we openly accept with forgiveness. And release. It's just not relatable. And it's just not relatable. Sacred Convergence, number 11. 11, 22, and 33, all present in the reading right now. Sacred Convergence, number 11. Roaming about town, the master was holding the light, saying, I am weary of the demons and the beast. A human is what I am longing for, the cat, the bass, the holy longing of the disembodied soul. A human cannot be found. We have searched. We cannot find. What cannot be found is what I am longing for? What cannot be found is what I am longing for? Although poor and needy, although suffering or maybe even in pain, I will not accept small pieces of ruby. The mine of the finest rubies is what I am looking for and longing for. One hand holding the cup of wine and the other the curls of the beloved. A dance like this in the middle of the circle is what I am longing for. How I have longed for you, my very own. Look no further. For the family beyond your family, the relationship beyond all other relationships, the great love that unveils all other loves to be mere reflections of the one great true love is here for you now. It is I who has sought you through the stirrings of your own heart. Yes, it was I, hidden beneath every secret, yearning for something more, something full, something special, something all-encompassing. Behind every yearning always I have been hidden. And now I shall show myself to you, so that you may become filled with the same passionate devotion that I hold for you, so that your mind will fall away, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of love, tossed into the ocean of silent, unending bliss. Come to me. We are to be one right now in sacred convergence of silent, eternal passion. Sacred convergence indicates a coming together of souls in alignment with a greater cause. This greater cause is both personal and impersonal. There is an aspect of joining together for a common purpose, and although that purpose may not be immediately obvious at a level of day-to-day consciousness, the known and the seen, the common soul purpose may be to lift each other up into a greater love of self-belief and shed fear and open the heart, filling each individual soul with more holy fire for its own personal passionate purpose. You'll have a sense when this process is happening. There will be a coming together of you like-minded souls who hail from all walks of life, and yet together through some invisible genius, you will help each other. You will support each other. You may simply be dancing in the same room or singing in the same group or attending the same class or workshop or just visiting the same beach or the same parkland, but in that very moment, there will be a sense of something coherent and nourishing happening at a far greater level. The trickle-down effect into your personal life will soon be felt too. You'll have more energy after spending time with these people, even if you don't interact very much on a personal level besides being in the same space. You feel empowered to step forward on your own path and love yourself with less conditions. You'll become freer and shed your fears and let go of relationships that based in fear and judgment, and open up to those more loving, responsive, and inspiring to continue on your personal journey in increasingly and profound ways. This oracle comes to you because you are part of a greater sacred convergence happening right now. Perhaps you have already sensed this progression. Perhaps it's not quite obvious to you, but the effects, whether obvious or subtle, will be important to your soul development and divine awakening. You are being asked to drop defenses and barriers towards groups of people that feel good for you. However, those that dampen your spirits or drag you down are to be dispensed with, no matter what games of blame or manipulation that they play to keep you coming back for more. I'll give you this and I'll give you that, and a little bit of breadcrumbing you to death. Turn towards those connections that feel nourishing to your soul and learn to share yourself without fear. Just be. You do not have to force the planets to spin or the great cycles of the soul to happen nor a flower to face the sun. All that is required for you is to just show up for what is offered to you right here now in the present moment. Do your part. Honor your truth. Take the steps. Dance, sing, be, and allow the gifts of the sacred connection to change your world. For this is a spiritual gift that is presented to you right now. Past life, present power. Perhaps you have been thinking about shedding lower vibrational connections based in ego, the world of power games, sabotage, manipulation, and fear. Perhaps you've already begun this process, or even shed so many you are fearing you may have overpruned to be left with nothing and no one. Do not fear, my feisty little angel of love. Your truth is prevailing. You cannot stay in the vibration of fear if you wish to dwell in the vibration of love. Willst you learn to sustain your vibration within you until you cannot be rattled by the crisis or the demands and the cries of others? If you want a plant to grow, why not give it the best soil and the conditions to do so? If you want yourself to grow, why not allow yourself to be planted in the proper conditions to do so? Certainly a plant of love can grow and will grow in the most inhospitable of all conditions. But it can be rather more joyful to grow in gentler, more nourishing, supporting conditions if possible. This oracle comes to you with guidance that the possibility for more joyful relationships and growth of love within is in your power. You choose. It is free will each day, each and every moment. It's just a choice. To trust yourself instead of the phantoms of your mind, to be the divine masculine of discernment and use your intuition. This is a choice. You do not owe anyone anything. Do not love people from a place of obligation. You love them from passion because you cannot not love them. You don't like them half the time, but God, man, they light you on fire. Drive you fucking crazy. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, who loves us all unconditionally, we open to this grace. We are willing to release those connections that no longer serve our spiritual growth and path of love. We release the relationships based in fear, including the relationship with ourselves, and open to the relationship based in love and trust. We surrender the need to know, to judge, to assert control, to assume, or have the need to be right, to win. And we open up to tolerance, intuition, and honoring of our heart. We open to love. We open to the grace of the sacred convergence and the divine love that is most gracious expression in the now and always. We call upon the soul tribe of love, and we open our heart to nourishing connections. So be it. Repeat this law of karma. We only owe love a chance to grow. You cannot grow love in fear. It's not relatable. So let that be a guiding principle now as you release the old and trust that even in the garden of relationship becomes sparse for a while. You have been cutting back unhealthy patterns and plants to allow for new life to flourish. It is only a matter of time for the season of new life and growth to come. Spring, the rabbit, the promise of rebirth. And so it shall, bringing with it the sacred convergence of souls on the path to love, your soul tribe, your soul family, your new tribe of those journeying upon this path of love. Wow. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I love you and have a beautiful day.